pjnet.tv, and it is Tuesday night about 9 p.m. And we are running a bumper. We are recording and we are streaming to 9 social media destinations. Time for a PJNet Live update, counting down to Studio 8 in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Well, good evening and welcome back. Or I should say that to me. I was absent last night. I'll tell you more about that in a moment. PJNet.tv is on the air, and I wanted to take this time to share some updates on things, well, going around here. Yesterday, as some of you may know, the PJNet studio was commissioned to Enterprise, Alabama for a God and Country event. And, of course, the weather was kind of funny because we were almost on the edge of Hurricane Marco, I believe. Not much of a, wasn't too bad because we were on the very outskirts of it, but it was nasty weather, that's for sure. But everything went very well. We've got a lot of footage to be edited this week. Now, I want to acknowledge the obvious that we are running behind on some things. We have not done highlights from last night. We have not transcribed Dell Didway's blog, and Dell will be with us, by the way, at the bottom of the hour. And we've also got tonight's Dell Didway will be here, and we're going to do his highlights. A lot of stuff going on. So, well, we're behind, okay, and I know that, and we're still building a podcast platform. And, so it just goes on and on. But I spent some time today redoing, you got to rebuild the PJNet studio every time we do this. So kind of been doing that. And I'm a little busy right now. I'm switching over to the live stream. And I see that now we're streaming in the chat room. Okay. Got some new toys I wanted to share with you. Wiring is a big deal when everything you do is meant to be taken into the field. And one of the problems is microphone cable. One of the solutions that we've used is this is called a snake, folks, and it's heavy, okay? This beast right here is a spool of actually 12 microphone cables. And at the end, of course, they're in a little bag, but all the ends are out here. And on the front face of this thing, they're all terminated. 4 of them are terminated male on this end, A, B, C, and D. 8 of them are terminated female, 1 through 12. What's kind of neat is this snake thingy can actually, it's got what's called a messenger in this business. It's a piece of wire that you can attach to a tree or a pole or anything else, and you can suspend the entire weight of this cable from one end to the other on that messenger, because you don't hang wire, but the weight of the wire will soon stretch and ultimately break the wire. Well, it's a big mess, folks. So that's one solution. We've had that, and we're grateful. Let me tell you something. I ordered... Oh, no audio. Oh, heavens, heavens, heavens. Okay, here's what we're going to do. We are going to take the microphone out. Okay, sorry. I'm being told that there's no audio. Yeti microphone. Okay, is that any better? It's okay. I was told we didn't have any audio, so I tried to fix it. So let me readjust everything here. Okay, so that's called the snake, and I want to tell you a secret. Microphone cable can be very expensive or very affordable. You just got to kind of catch a good deal. So I was, since we had the snake, I was able to watch for a good deal. And sure enough, a good deal came along, and it was like 6 or 8, I forget, what I call Fruit Loops microphone cords. Each one is a tropical color, 100 feet long, package of 8. I forget what I paid for it, but it was like half the price you would expect to pay for microphone cable. Now, there's a 100-foot span of it. Now, the problem is, of course, when you start trying to roll this up, you twist it as you roll it. So it's kind of hard to do. So I'm gonna we have a solution that just came in. I haven't even opened the box, but this stuff is terribly bulky. So let's open the box, see what's inside. And it's Christmas every day here at PJNet. So I got that cord on sale, and so ordered like eight 100-foot rolls. Well, it came in. There were 2 boxes, 2 packages. Each had 8. Well, I contacted Amazon and said, hey, nope, you sent me 2. I only ordered 1. I only paid for 1. I only wanted 1. If you'll just send me a call tag, I'll send these others back. And they said that's not possible because that was a clearance sale. And those are no longer in inventory. They're not stocking them anymore. Microphone cable's very standard, by the way. There's nothing particularly special about it. So they said, just keep the others. Oh, okay. All right. So, but I've got this big box. It's a big toolbox with wheels, and when you get all the cables in there and all the snake and all the stuff, you can roll it, but it's hard to get it in the truck. So what I have to do is roll it out to my truck, unload the box, put the box in the truck, load the box, and then close the box, and then I get to do the same thing on the opposite end, unless you have somebody there to help. And that's nice. Okay, this is the packaging here, just the little padding. Okay, off we go with that. Oh, so in this box is, as you might expect, another box. So let's simplify life a little bit. Got to keep the recycle workers busy, you know. And let's see what's inside. We're going to kind of have to not discontinue. We're going to have to suspend work on the podcast platform while I get dug out. And you say, well, Coach, you've been talking about this. When's it going to be done? And it's running late. Yes, it is. But that's okay, because I could be done if I didn't care about the quality and the performance. And, I want this to be done very well. I don't want just another podcast platform. We want to be good, okay? So, all right, this here, and we're discovering this just in real time, folks. I hope this is a solution. Oh, they even put a wire tie to close the plastic bag. How nice of them. So, just kind of cutting into the wrapping, hoping not to actually damage the product inside or cut my finger, either for that matter. So, all right, here we have this beautiful black. Everything's black in this business. You ever noticed? Okay. So I was going to get one of these little spools. You've probably seen the kind you roll up electrical wire on, that's got a little handle. Those were like, $10 or $15 a piece. But as I was shopping, I discovered they actually make something built specifically for microphone cable, and it looks like this, a frisbee. Okay, so we're going to try this puppy out, okay, for the first time. And I was going to get a couple of them, and I thought, well, if a couple work pretty good, what I'll do is I'll get some more, Yeah, the wire is paying out, buddy. Here we go. All right. So let me see. The way this works is it's built in such a way that you can stick the XLR end in there, I guess, kind of like that. Okay. And then the magic is, as you roll it, you're not twisting the wire. See, and this is important because twisted wire makes for a bad mess. So I got 100 feet of this to go, folks. So while I'm telling you all of that, and of course it's all tangled up. This is the other problem with winding up wire. Is at the end of the day, it's a dang mess, and this is testimony to why I need this. Okay, Christmas. Hey, good to see everybody in the chat room. Hello, Ben, and Steve is here. JD's here. Hey, Joe Massara's here. Good for her. And Lynn Winninger's here. JD's wife. A lot of y'all see this is what it turns into in the field, folks. So hopefully it will accept all 100 feet of this stuff. If it won't, I am really messed up because I got everything I got is 100. We've got like 1,600 feet of mic. See, here's why we have this. Remember that nice little bundle? It isn't nice anymore. And I'll show you the rest of it. I'll show you the rest of the surprise in a moment. We've also been making some improvements here in the eagle's nest. I can't show it to you. I could. I want to, but I want to wait till tomorrow. Okay, because I'll be done then. All right, we got a little cable to work with now. And if this thing will hold 100 feet, I'm going to be quite surprised, because there's a lot of mic cords still down there. And this is not the heavy-duty mic cord. It's just standard. Mic cord is really, it's called XLR. L and R mean left and right. X means ground. Okay. All microphone cables pretty much the same. So, let's see. Boy, this thing's filling up. I don't know how in the world it's going to hold 100 feet, to be honest. But let's just keep going and cross our fingers. It gets a little wider at the top. It's kind of tapered. And, yeah, it's filling up, folks. I'm not happy. I'm not happy. I got a long way to go. Okay, yeah, here it is. It's full, and I would guess I'm at the 50-foot mark here. Okay. So this is not a solution. That's too bad, because it really would have been nice. Okay. But no, that's not going to fit. But if it did, it's really cute. But it only holds about 50 feet. I'm pretty sure it said it held 100 feet. But it won't work. But oh, if it did, it's awful pretty. It's in a nice bag. See? And you can stow them away. So if you need any 50-foot microphone cables stored, it would be a great idea. Unfortunately, mine are 100 feet. Okay. All right. Back to Amazon. It's going. Use 2 of them for 1 mic cord. Okay, Ben, that's an interesting proposition. Before I send it back, that's a good idea. Anyway, okay, so we've got some stuff that I'm not going to show you today, but I'm going to tell you about it because it's really cool. If you have been with us on the road, you may have noticed that we've got this beautiful banner, 60 inches wide, 24 inches high. And I bought these 2 flagpole things. You know how you'd hang a flag outside on your on the column of your house or on the side of your house. And so I've got the desk all put together, but I've got the banner now across the desk, and it covers up a lot of that wiring and entanglement, all the spaghetti that's back there. That's going to look real nice. And I've also found new ways that I can make use of the area underneath the desk to stow stuff away. So when I get all this cleaned up, then I also came up with a kind of neat idea. We've got 5 security cameras. Now, security cameras are not good cameras for live production because they shoot at a very, very slow frame rate, 25 frames per second. The flicker fusion point of the human brain is 24 frames per second, so it's almost flickering. Okay. Secondly, if anything is moving, it's going to jitter. Okay, so it's not real good for live production but it's really good for what we call B-roll. And one of the 5 cameras is a PTZ. That means it pans, moves left to right, got motors in it, okay, moves left to right, it will tilt, okay, so you got the x-axis and the y-axis, and it will also zoom, okay, so that's the z-axis. Really neat, okay, so I'm going to hook that back up, and didn't put in our new card that came in. I'll do that probably tomorrow. And we'll get those cameras back in effect. I've also got 3 hard points for the cameras that we take on the road that are pretty good. They're the younger cousin to the one we're using right now. The optics are the same, just not as many features. But I came up with an idea just today that's kind of neat. Better yet, cut the cords. Sorry. Got to put an end on them, JD. Sorry about that. The gimbals that we use, I have 2 of them. One is a gimbal specifically made for an iPhone, and it really does a great job. and I was using it yesterday, and I realized that it has its own. Once you get the phone, it integrates with the phone. It's got motors in it, okay, and you can pan, you can tilt, and you can zoom just using your thumb. Got kind of a little joystick thingy on the handle, okay. All right, so that's the one for that one. But I've also got a very, very nice one that's for our very, very good camera, a very, very good camera. And it's got a gimbal too, and it's integrated with the phone, and yet it has its own pan, tilt, and zoom. I got thinking about that. I could set that nice camera, or in fact any cheap camera, it doesn't matter, in the gimbal. And the gimbal can be, it's got an app that comes with it. So I've got my phone here in my hand, controlling the gimbal that is really mounted to a hard point, such as a tripod. Now I can pan, tilt, and zoom the camera remotely. Now, folks, that is staggering. Let me tell you what a pan, tilt, zoom camera costs. A USB pan, tilt, zoom camera is $1,600. A webcam is about under $100. So you could take that $100 webcam, put it in a gimbal that cost about another $100, and for the combined cost of about $200, you have in effect made a pan, tilt, zoom sorta camera, kinda. Well, it certainly pans and tilts, okay? We have another piece that's quite amazing. It's a 48-inch rail, and it's got a motorized dolly that runs, and you program it to run back and forth across the rail, and you program the speed that it runs. Now, that's cool, because you can mount a camera on that little dolly. See, and it moves back and forth all the time. Never, well, it's got a remote control you can do. But that's not all it does. Okay, it's got a rail in the center that's flexible, and it's got little harnesses on each end. So you harness that flexible steel rail to one extreme on this end, on the left end, and you harness it to the other extreme on the right end. Now, if you do that, the camera is now panning as it traverses the rail. So you get now almost 270 degrees. That's think of 12 o'clock to 9 o'clock, folks. That's 270 degrees of view, a field of view, far in excess of the lens of the camera, because when the camera gets all the way to the right, the camera is pointed to the right. And as it moves, the camera is moving to the left, so when it gets all the way to the left, it's pointed all the way. It's really cool. All right, now that's one application. Now let's go to the other extreme, go to each end, and reverse the position of that flexible rail. Now what happens as the camera moves across that rail, the camera is constantly pointed at a certain foci. So the subject appears, so for the viewer, this is called, by the way, the parallax effect. The viewer, you feel like you're kind of on a merry-go-round as you're, the subject stays in the middle, but it appears you're moving. Now, you've got to put some foreground and background in there so that you have a point of reference so you can kind of feel the motion. But you can use smoke, there's a lot of ways, candles, there's all kinds of things you can use to establish foreground and background to provide perspective. So that's another neat little gadget that we have, when we do these, when we go on the road. I just actually made a proposal to someone for PJNet, on the road, because everything that we do in here is made to project into the field. Now, right now the logistics are very complicated, and obviously the pandemic has placed quite a mess in that. But we are continuing to expand the horizons of possibilities of taking the PJNet.TV team into the field to provide footage of live events, as we did yesterday, and you will be seeing the results of that, well, in the near future. So, all right, we're running behind. We do have, so that's my update on the podcast platform. Listen, there's nothing wrong. Everything is moving along. It's just moving slowly. and we are perfecting it at a level that is unheard of in the podcast platform world. We've done a lot of research. And okay, so that's kind of the update. That'll prevent me from talking after our guest gets wound up. Y'all have been very patient. Thanks, everybody. Let's see. Dell's in the chat room. He'll be on stage here in just a moment. Doug is here. Steve, JD, Lynn, Monty's here. Sunbelt Girl's here. Nice crowd in the chat room. So I'm going to take a little break in just a few moments. Dell Didway will be right there, and he's going to talk about his blog today and more. So look forward to that. We will see you in just a few minutes. On my way out, I ask you 2 questions. First one, what is the boldest thing you've ever done for Jesus Christ? Got it? Number 2, how long ago was that? Folks, we've got to take the gospel message to a very dark world. We're going to have to be bold. I sincerely hope that we will never be satisfied with either answer.